Hello, everyone. Welcome to another webinar from Coats Digital. This one is specially organized for the GSDCost customers. And today we are going to talk about how GSDCost users can further improve their productivity and capacity utilization by implementing the most dynamic planning tool, FastReactPlan. We call it FRP in short. So we'll be referring to it. We will be referring to it as FRP. During the session. And in the end, we'll be taking up questions. So please be around and keep your queries ready. Before we move on, I'll introduce my co-speaker, Mr. Roshan here. So Mr. Roshan is from customer success team, and he has close to about 13 years of experience with him. And I'm Apurv. I am the product owner for FRP Cloud and Vision PLM. And I also have around 15 years of experience with me in and around manufacturing and consulting. So today we'll be taking you through the advantages of implementing FRP for GSDCost customers. So before we move on, a brief introduction about Coats. I know most of us are here already are customers, but anyone who is new to this webinar should know a little bit about Coats. So we are a trusted value-adding partner as garment manufacturers in the industry. Most of us know that Coats is one of the biggest thread manufacturer around the world. They do manufacture all kinds of technical threads, all kinds of sewing threads. So yeah, it's a big portfolio if we talk about that. Coats Digital is part of Coats, where we work towards software solutions for fashion industry. We have a very experienced team of industry experts with us who are passionate about creating market-leading software solutions specifically for fashion industry. Right now, because of our parent company Coats, we are blessed with a very global reach, and we are also blessed with really good local team. So, yep, we have good strength globally as well as locally. We are also technology leaders, delivering for today and transforming for tomorrow. We are trusted by over 1,000 brands and manufacturers in 55 countries for over 40 years. Next slide, please. Our manufacturing suite. So our portfolio involves 3 of our major products. First one is GSDCost, as a lot of us in this webinar will know. So it is a method time cost optimization solution. Another one is FastReact Fabric, which is used for optimizing fabric buying to fabric cutting in the cutting room during manufacturing. And the last one is the FastReactPlan, which we are going to talk about today. Next slide.
Thank you, Apurv. Thank you for the introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. As we have already seen how GSDCost have helped you in standardizing your costing and assembly calculation, leading to productivity improvement. Now, this chat aims to tell you how you can maximize the GSDCost by coupling it with FastReact, as Apurv introduced to you. So before we dive into what FRP is, you can see on the slide, I would like you to understand how the planning functions in the current scenario. The standard way to a proper plan is PDCA, plan, do, check, act, as we know. However, the actual scenario is that the planner is only able to follow, and do means execute only. The other two pillars, check and act, never actually gets to follow in the line due to manual updates, disconnected sheets, and multiple sources to chase. So what manual challenges that we face is Excel is the main tool being used for daily, weekly, monthly planning. And as you know, planning is not only limited to plotting down the daily requirement production updates. As you see, on the screen, it is more of chasing TNA events, materials, secondary departments capacity, and actual production on day-to-day basis. We have not seen a single case in our industry where the plan is fixed and being followed for a complete month. So if you see the plan is being made and changes keep happening because of the factors involved, as I told you earlier, the critical path management, your material supply, your management, how they are planning your factories, how your operators are coming up, how your manpower is showing up. So there are a lot of factors which affect the change in your plan. So what happens due to this? You plan it on manually, but how does it affect? This directly affects the capacity utilization, your execution cost, your improper factory lines planning. It increases the load on the secondary departments and material firefighting throughout the order execution. Sometimes even your subcontract work is also hampered by the manual planning. These factors impact your speed to the market. It impacts your efficiency, the way you plan. It affects your cost control and most importantly, your visibility. The team, which should be part of problem solving effort, instead they are engaged in problem identifying efforts throughout a day. A single change in plan brings down the previous planning effort, and planner has to restart making changes as it consumes time which could be utilized in problem solving. So you see, now your team is changing from problem solving to problem finding team. They are just involved into problem identifying. Now, if I am planning manually, you see on the capacity planning, I'm not able to understand whether I have booked over or I have booked under. The planner has now basically become a calculator. He has to go through all the lines and calculate the capacity that has been booked. Instead of wasting time there, they can work on problem solving. So similarly, your lines are planned at low efficiency because you don't have the visibility that what is the efficiency of that particular line, how is that line going to perform, on if there is any change in the product type or if there is any change in the, let's say, high assembly or low assembly garment. And similarly, you don't have the visibility of the material. So the planner is planning on the Excel. He has the visibility, but he has to go through several sheets. He has to go through several, he has to talk to several people, be it in merchant, be it in sourcing team, be it in the packing guy, and get the information, collect the information, and then plan accordingly. So every time what he is doing, he is just collecting the information and making the changes, collecting the information and making the changes. He is not able to focus on making the right plan, getting the right capacity utilization, getting the right production execution. So if your plan is not right, your execution will obviously be not right. Your secondary operations will be stuck. Let's say he is planning on the Excel, he is planning for the sewing, but he is not able to take care of the cutting due to the absence of the visibility which he can have from a system. So his secondary operation cutting might be a bottleneck operation for him, and he might not know about it. And what will happen from this? The plan will not be executed as it was planned on the sheet. So it will just be a paper plan and it will not be executed properly. And as we see in this current tariff world, we all know how things are shifting quickly and affecting the deliveries, sourcing, your production lead time, your style variation, your margins. So we need something which can help us to counter these problems and be with us and provide us the right information at the right time. So moving on to how we can overcome from these planning gaps and their impacts. Do you approve?
Thank you, Roshan. Thank you for telling us what problems we are facing today in the industry. And those problems are very real. I agree with you. Uh, so how do we solve them? In today's world where we are even reminded about drinking water by our mobile phones through technology. So why are we not adopting technology in our manufacturing setups? We are doing that, I think. The first level of technology I think the manufacturing industry adopted was using Excel, right? But now I think the time calls to make it even more automated, to make the process even more automated, to make all the internal processes, whichever we can, to make it external. And one part of it could be planning. Instead of planning manually on Excel sheets, why not plan through a dedicated software, which actually solves all the problems that Roshan stated. So we will introduce you to the FastReactPlan solution that we have, which is aimed at digitizing production planning and control. So how does it do that? FastReactPlan sits somewhere between your business system and shop floor data collection. So based on the business system, basically purchasing, inventory, finances, etc., all those things, all your orders that comes into your business systems are loaded into FastReactPlan. You get material supply updates as well. Based on the order delivery dates, material supply date, you draw a critical path, and which FastReactPlan does for you, right? So you can focus on all those critical activities as you plan. And then putting all this information together visually onto a planning board, right? Anything which is visual is easier to understand, is easier to follow. So putting all this information visually onto a planning board in form of you know visible length of the orders, the planning person or the production planning person can easily identify how much time an order is taking and place those orders one by one, one after the other, based on the capacity of the line, based on the merits of the line, based on what kind of style the line is destined to produce or you know uh, assembled to produce. So all these things taken into consideration, putting it into a visual map, putting it right in front of the planner, and then planner plans those things considering all the variables, plans it on the production planning board, and then follows it. He checks if anything is going wrong, but how. So it is done visually. Anything which goes wrong into a particular order is shown in some particular colors on each and every order strip. So using those color indication, planner can easily identify problems, planner can easily identify bottlenecks, planner can easily do any corrective action which might be needed through cross departments or within the same departments. And then live production updates can be given to the plan which is made. So based on the live production updates, you will always know that if you are on track or not. So this definitely solves a lot of problems that Roshan has already discussed in previous slides. Next slide, please. As I said, uh, manual versus FastReactPlan. Why do we need to move from Excel to a dedicated software for PPC? In spreadsheet, it's all about repetitive data entry. Same kind of data, copy paste here and there, may create errors, may create issues uh, with the data. And due to those errors, due to those human errors or copy paste errors here and there, the output which comes out in terms of a plan can be wrong. That's a huge risk. It is a push and react method, which means that you push your plan to the planning to the shop floor, and you try it. You're always behind the shop floor to with that Excel sheet in your hand to follow that plan, not realizing the actual issues which are there on the production floor, actual issues which might happen in future, and then when it happens, you're trying to just firefight it. There are challenges when you're required to replan. It's hard to manipulate an Excel sheet. Once you make a format, great. What if I tell you just change that format? It takes time, right? So if you want to replan something on Excel sheets, really difficult to do that. Most of the teams are out of sync because most of the time Excel sheets are being shared using emails. So the flow of information is the flow of information becomes really really vague, in due to which a lot of information can be lost. So there is lots of time required to analyze and see problem. Yes, you have to, enter formulas and everything in the Excel and then try to get your desired result. There is a lot of data, but no actionable insight. So you see the data. You can see, okay, this particular order is getting late, but what to do about it? How can you solve that problem? FastReactPlan solves all these issues, where it gives you a realistic and complete process very quickly. You can enter data in one system and share the data across the systems using integrations. You can pull, it is a pull system. It highlights the clear picture. You don't have to push. It is all pre-planned. It is connected and coordinated. Different teams can access FastReactPlan. It provides you automatic analysis. It provides you alerts. It provides you warnings. So you have some actionable items right in front of you. It gives you data feed. It's a data feedback loop, and you can track your KPIs like OTDP through FastReactPlan. So how does it benefit your business? As I said, all it's all about cause and effect. So if you solve the issues which are there on your production floor using FastReactPlan, of course it is going to benefit your business, because those are the biggest blocker in profitability for a business: time, money, every cost. If you can save on time, if you can, that means you can save on cost, and with all the tight margins around apparel industry and all the uncertainties, as Roshan told about the uh, trades. So all those can be reduced by a significant percentage. So you can get a faster and more accurate order confirmation process. You can get a pull system that drives improved on-time production start. You can get a smoother production flow with fewer stoppages. You can reduce firefighting, less emails and meetings. You can have good amount of data integrity because the data is shared. It's not re-entered. It will give you improved plan accuracy. It will give you improved on-time delivery. As I said earlier, it can give you higher production efficiency. It can give you significant staff time saving. Overhead cost reduction could be a side benefit of it. Reduce buffer time and cost. There could be reduced lead time. There could be increased agility. Next slide, please. So just to put everything in a nutshell, all those features and benefits that can, the specific feature which can give you all these benefits are capacity planning. Through FastReactPlan, you can do your capacity planning. It provides fast reactive or confirmation and planning of total demand. You can plan your critical path and TNA. You can directly add that TNA, attach that TNA to a order to a style. Then material supply and demand. So there is a whole material resource planning module in FastReactPlan, which you can use to plan and schedule materials. Another star in FastReactPlan features is automatic planning. You can utilize that feature. You can give it different settings, and based on those settings, depending on the scenario on your production floor, it can actually give the FastReactPlan can actually give an automatic plan. So saving a lot of time, maybe planning one order one by one. Instead of doing that, you can go for automatic plan. It has integrated reporting. So you can get customized report dashboards. It supports integrated reporting, also surfaced in Microsoft's Power BI. The interactive dashboards and reports provide actionable insight based on up-to-date analytics of actual and projected performance, which provides, of course, which provides early identification of potential issues. Then real-time production updates. So anything, as I said, anything which is going wrong could be seen in terms of visual cues on the planning board, and corrective actions can be taken then and there immediately. It also supports API access, so it can easily export and import data to and from other software solutions.
Thank you, Apur, for explaining how FastReact is not just an tool to plan, it is a problem-solving tool, actually. if you see, you guys must have realized that Excel is a planning tool, but FastReactPlan is a wholesome tool which gives you the dynamic alerts and also helps you in integrated reporting. So it is basically a plan, as I told you, problem solving tool, just not a planning tool. So moving on to the next slide. So now we have more improved and fast version of FRP where we have API integration. We are going to also include the shift planning and profitability planning. So through API integration, as you know, the data flow is going to be very smooth. You're going to have all the flexibility in your data input and data export. And then coming onto the shift planning. So shift planning is something which will help you to plan your shift separately. So you can manage your efficiency for each shift separately. You can uh, manage your KPIs for each shift separately through a single board. Then coming on to the profitability planning, it is something about order level margin insight. So it will tell you the true cost calculation because it is going up to an order level margin insight, and it is going to show you the full wage and cost visibility. So this will help you to analyze how much you are spending as you are planning. So it will show you a kind of plan versus actual cost. So moving on to the next slide, we will talk about that how FRP is going to be a game changer for the GSDCost users. So in GSD, what you have done at the moment, you have been able to standardize your SMB and you are managing your costing also with GSDCost. However, you might not be able to implement the same standard, planning because you are following it through Excel. As we told earlier, in Excel, the sheets are disconnected. You're not able to work upon it. You're not have the visibility to know that how your plan is actually getting executed because your planner is involved in other activities, which are again problem identifying activities. So GSD can help you to implement that SMB standardization and can improve your capacity utilization. And similarly, if your capacity is improved, what it indicates is that your planning is optimized, your targets are optimized, you are not over planning your lines, you're not under planning your lines, you are planning it to the actual production that you can get. As you know, GSD provides you all the scientific, there is a scientific background behind GSD which provides you the SMV ultimately. So you are planning an optimized target for your lines. So now we will be moving on to the Q&A part. We will try to answer as much as we can. So I would like everyone to jump into the Q&A tab and start typing their questions. Just bust it out, whatever query you have. We are there to answer it. Thank you. We will be waiting for the questions.